Tell me about your ghost story, Evan.
I don't have a ghost story. I've never seen a ghost or anything really supernatural or strange. I do have someone else's ghost story I could tell you though. Back when I was in college, this was my sophomore year, I went and I talked to, I was super into like ghost hunter TV shows because I thought they were cool, and like people were always saying like, oh, the campus is haunted. It was built on a Civil War battlefield, and it was the Confederate front. It was part of their artillery battery. Part of the campus was lined with something called the Sunken Road, and there's this section that was just flat and sunken, and it had just perfect cover on the other side. And so a lot of people got killed there because it's a shooting gallery. It's just a shooting gallery, and so people were like, oh, campus is haunted because so many people died there, and a lot of people did die there. The ghost story that I want to tell happened when I was there, and it actually happened in 2009. It was one of the RAs in Virginia Hall, which is one of like the oldest buildings. I think it was completed in 1915, and all the RAs would come early before all the rest of the students would come. They would come early, and they would do like icebreakers and training and just hang out. I was trying to do like, I'm gonna do my own like horror movie, like, you know, video series, just sort of like this. My friend came up to me and he says, hey, my ex wants to talk to you. And I was like, that's weird, because him and his ex didn't super get along. He said she has a ghost story she really wants to tell. And I was kind of taken aback by that, because it must have been something that she really wanted to talk about if she was approach her ex-boyfriend and be like, I need to talk to your stupid friend about ghosts. She said that when you're an RA, you're always supposed to have like one person. You're not the only RA in a building. There's a couple RAs in a building. So all the other RAs and the HR, which is like the head RA, they all went out grocery shopping. One person has to stay behind in case like the building catches on fire or something like that. She was the only one. She was like, oh, I'm just gonna take a shower. You know, you guys can go to the grocery store. I have enough food. I'm good for now. The whole building is locked. You have to use a key card to get into the building. Virginia Hall actually also had communal bathrooms. Like every floor had like a couple big bathrooms that everybody shared. She's deaf, so she couldn't hear. And she took out her hearing aids because she didn't want to get them wet. She went and she was showering. She was soaping her hair, putting shampoo in her hair. There's, you know, like the linoleum shower curtain. And she said that it was kind of a little bit darker than she remembered when she was like first looking at it. And she's like, oh, maybe when the lights went out. She was just watching it. She didn't know what to make of it. And it got just like, then she could see a shadow. It was a shadow on the other side of the shower curtain. She saw that it was the outline of a person. And she could see something touching the shower curtain and reaching towards her, like pushing on it. She just sort of froze, and it kept reaching out and further and further. And she said that she just went and grabbed the shower curtain and flung it open, and there was just nothing on the other side. And then just nothing at all. And so she stepped out, she looked at the other showers, looked in the stalls, and then she said she was buck-ass naked and still dripping wet, and she ran out into the hallway. She ran downstairs, looked at the doors, the entries to the building, because there's one long hall where you can actually see from one end of the building all the way to the other. And also all the rooms were open and they're all empty. And so she ran by every single room. It's like 3 stories, I think, or something like that. And she ran by every single room in the building. There's nobody in there. All the doors were locked. She's still naked and dripping wet. And then she said that after she looked at every single room, she stopped for a moment and she ran back to her room. And she threw the bed in front of the door, closed the door, and she just fell into like a corner and started sobbing. The other RAs came and like knocked on the door and like opened the door. She was fine. She just had like a panic attack. She freaked out. That was pretty intense. And I wanted to know why she reacted that way. So I asked her, why did you do that? What, you know, I understand like fight or flight, but like she like broke down. And she told me that she broke down and sobbed because she knew that she would never be alone. she just looked at me. She just like no emotion on her face when she told me that. She's just like, I'll never be alone again. I don't even really understand what that means. And that's kind of the most terrifying part.